how well this thing works is to go to the ebnstore.com.
And I understand that in the long run, we will eventually be offering this thing as a plug-and-play kit, but frankly, I understand the reasoning. I mean, we've only got so much in the way of resources. I mean, we'd like to kind of get an idea of what the public wants it to be before we actually commit to manufacturing cute, sexy little boxes to put them in. I mean,
and not to mention the fact that we have a fairly limited quantity of these boards right now. We have 10 of these high current output boards available right now. There'll be shortly another 10 available in 5 more in assembled form and 5 more in a kit form.
Okay, that's cool. For those who are handy with a soldering gun.
Right, and that'll save you $20 off the price of the Fed output board.
Understood.
It's not a lot, but we're not making a whole lot on these, so this is an introductory price, and we're just trying to see what the market's at. We're not here to get rich either.
And of course, if anybody's really interested, it's www.ebnstore.com. I think I have, I do have a banner posted on top of the video, so anybody who's really interested in checking out what we've got to offer, the website's clearly published up there, so anybody who's interested can go check them out. I understand that the limited supply we have available right now is available for immediate purchase. Anybody who's interested can stop on by and get one. Is that correct?
That's, as far as I'm aware, the web store is up and running.
Yeah, I was promised by the webmaster that the store would open in conjunction with our announcement on this show. So I'm taking him at his word. Please don't make a liar out of me, Mr. Webmaster. If anybody out there is interested and is pushing that Buy Me Now button, I want to make sure they can get their product. Well, we are indeed running tight on the time I had allocated for our presentation. Is there anything else that you think would be real impressive that you'd like to present before we move on to the next item?
We also have this Fed output board that looks very similar to that shield board that I showed you earlier, the sensor shield board. The difference between the sensor shield and this board is that this has a stack of FETs on it here that'll handle an amp apiece. So if you're not into running cells at 80 amps and you just want to run a simple little motor, or maybe a motor for a pan and tilt, or whatever.
Ooh, or maybe one of those magnetic motors that folks are playing with. Yeah,
I mean, this board right here can give you an amp current per output, and it's built very similar to the sensor shield, except that the outputs are buffered on the digital side.
Well, now that's pretty cool. Now I could see using that for maybe an autofill system, or I could see that for maybe, most of these guys out here probably don't even know what the heck a TPU is, but for anybody out there who does know what a TPU is, that could be a very interesting toy. I mean, my gosh, I can control pulse width. Holy cow. Enough said about that. I think that might be one of those black projects that some of the guys are working on in the back room. I probably shouldn't give any of that nonsense away.
Well, I've done some testing on this little Arduino, and you can run that puppy up to 400 kilohertz.
Holy cow. That could be fun to play with. Anything else you got to show us? You seem to have quite a pile of toys there.
Yep, I've been working very, very diligently to try to get this thing to market. It's been a year in the making, and it looks like we're finally here. I'm hoping like heck that we sell the heck out of these things. Sell these first 20 boards that we have, and get on to making a whole bunch more.
Well, I'll tell you what, that sounds like a plan. Guys, I only had about 20 minutes available for this presentation. I hope that with that very well scripted back and forth between Allgood and I, you got a pretty good idea in a condensed form just what this device is all about, what it can do. But we are at this time available to answer any questions that you might have. But I can only take questions on this segment of the show for about 5 minutes or so. If you think that was scripted, Odie, think again. That was totally off the cuff, but that's okay. How about out of phase? Out of phase. Now, see, that's going right over my head. Do you know what that means, Allgood? Ironhead just popped in and said, yes, it will do out of phase. Generalizer says, yes, 25 to 35% savings in power. Okay, so it seems that other folks were able to address that question. Any other questions, fellows? I've only got a few minutes available to answer questions in this segment. Then we have to move on to the next segment of the show. By the way, Allgood, I really want to thank you for stopping by and helping me with this presentation.
Oh, no problem. There's been a lot of work put into this by more than a couple of individuals, and to get this thing off the ground, it's taken quite an undertaking for a lot of us, and you as well.
All righty. Well, I'm not seeing any. Do the boards talk to each other to tell each other what to do? Ironhead, can you address that one? I do know for a fact that folks have ganged these little Arduino computers in such a way that they cross-communicate. I do not think that the software we're providing has that capability yet. Stay tuned. Any other questions for Mr. Allgood before I let him move on to his other chores? Okay, well, I think either our presentation was totally over their head, they have no idea what we're talking about, or we answered so many of their questions that nobody has any left for us. What do you think, Allgood?
What I'm hoping is they're all up there buying this stuff.
Yeah, I think they're all over at www.ebnstore.com making their purchases.
That's the place.
All right, Mr. Allgood, I'm going to go ahead and cut you loose. I appreciate you coming by and helping me with the presentation.
All right, good evening to you.
I'll let you have the rest of your evening yourself. Thank you so much.
Good night.
All right, folks. Well, I appreciate you being patient with that blatantly commercial segment of the show, and you darn well better believe it. I want to sell some of those puppies. I own a piece of the action on this thing. So get out your credit card, go to www.ebnstore.com, and lay down some dough, because my daughter's in medical school, and I need it bad. In any case, I want to thank Allgood for stopping by and giving us that quick presentation on the product. And I think at this point I will go ahead and clear my www.ebnstore.com item from the there we go. I think I did manage to mention www.ebnstore.com at least 5 times during the presentation, right? I mean, they told me in marketing school repetition helps. All right. Okay. All right, guys, quit picking on the huckster. Here I am trying to hustle a deal, I mean, give me a break.